With zero ticking not working for these farms anymore, how on earth are you going to get a peaceful mode or a no mob XP farm going now? Well, I'm going to show you how. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, and welcome to another episode from me, Avomance, in my farm tutorial series. This one for 116. You may well know that there is no zero ticking when it comes to growing things like cactus and bamboo, and I did tutorials the other day for both a cactus farm and a bamboo farm. We're going to bring these two things together to create ourselves an XP bank that could be used in peaceful. No mobs required whatsoever. Let's crack on with it. So the way this farm works is really easy. Loads of cactus coming out of that farm. By the way, if you'd rather not use this lossless farm but use a lot less iron, that's absolutely no problem. There is a link in the description below for a cactus farm that produces a load of cactus and doesn't use nearly that much iron. And also loads of bamboo coming out of here. Feeds into these furnaces. These furnaces then smelt up the cactus, throw out the green dye. The waste disposal unit is there, and it accumulates the XP in Java Edition and allows you to collect it when you want it, not when you've got to take it, but when you feel like taking it. To make the bank part of this farm, you are going to need a bucket of lava, about 20 powered rails, about 20 normal rails, about 14 structural blocks, I'm using stone bricks, 5 furnaces, 11 chests, 21 hoppers, 2 minecart with hoppers, 4 levers at least, probably more like 8 to be safe, 1 redstone comparator, 1 redstone repeater, and 5 dots of redstone. To make the two farms, the cactus farm and also the bamboo farm, refer to those videos for the ingredients for those two farms because they're exactly the same. The first part we're going to make is a toggleable disposal system. So dig yourself a hole that is 3 by 4 like this and make it 2 deep. This is going to allow you to hide it up later on, and then put an extra one out right there. And then what you're going to need to do is create yourself a set of steps to be able to get down to that extra one and put a block back up there. Reason being, we want to get a dropper there, but we want it to be facing downwards. So come into your hole, crouch, get yourself back up again, and then with your dirt, refill that and that. But before you put that back on, you need to get yourself a bucket of lava. Pop the bucket of lava in there. We've deliberately left a gap there. That way the lava is below the level of the work that you're doing, and it's not going to threaten you. It's not going to get in the way. You can then cover it up just in case you dig stuff out. Imagine if that lava had been 1 block up and you mistakenly got rid of that block, it would come and bash you. There, we've got 1 block there, and you can put 2 blocks right there. Get yourself a repeater, a comparator, pop that there, a repeater in there, repeater go in there, and then put redstone dust there, there, and there, and then get a hopper and put the hopper facing into the dropper like that. You can see the towel is facing in. Come up onto the top and put yourself a chest there, dig out that bit and put a lever in there. Now what's going to happen now is if we put anything into that chest at the moment, so if I demonstrate that, if I put a load of dirt into the chest, you can see that is now firing the system. When something goes into the dropper, this sucks the power out, it shoots the power into this block, which circuits around, pushing power into this block, firing the dropper and making it squirt out whatever's inside it into the lava, thus destroying it. So, but if we don't want to get rid of everything, and maybe we want to keep that bit of dirt right there, we can toggle it on and off using that lever, and that way we can keep anything in this chest and it isn't lost forever. It's a toggleable disposal system. Then get yourself your dirt and cover this all up because you don't need to go into it anymore. Then come to the other side of the chest, go 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Get yourself hoppers 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. That is going to be our bank. And facing the chest, shift click on top of your hoppers, 5 more, and then not shift click in, 5 more, giving yourself 5 double chests, all facing in the same direction. Then get yourself 5 more hoppers and shift click into the back of those chests. Then come around the front and find yourself a furnace. Now in the 116 menu, the furnaces are a little bit further down. Shift click a furnace onto each one of those hoppers and then get yourself another hopper. Shift click into the top and then more hoppers, shift click into the back. That is your bank system. You do not need a double row of these hoppers. One is going to be plenty. The next thing we need to do is to create the way to deliver both the fuel and the smeltable items to these furnaces. Get yourself a block onto the end of each one of these and decide which one you're going to be putting in which direction. I tend to go this way on that one and this way on that one. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put some rails on this fella. So bring this one up one like that, pop yourself a powered rail right there, then 5 normal rails across that system, and then another power rail there and there. These powered rails are going to give you the necessary momentum for this thing to be going backwards and forwards with plenty of speed. Pop yourself a lever there, that will turn that on, and come around the other side and pop yourself another lever underneath there, that will turn that on also. So now what we've got to do is funnel this off to the first farm. We've achieved that by coming across with these 2 rails, then turning the corner with a normal rail, stepping down these blocks, putting a power source on there, specifically a lever. These are powered to get that minecart up there plenty quickly, and then these, just for holding, come in 3 normal rails that's going to go off to our cactus farm. We're now going to do this second one. First thing is we need a block there. We need a powered rail there. That powered rail automatically gets powered because we've powered underneath this side. We then need rails 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do not put a rail on this one, otherwise this rail here will snap it over, and we don't want that. So what you need to do is remove that rail, and yes, you did have to put the rail there in the first place. Put a powered rail there, block there, powered rail there, block there, and a normal rail there. You can now replace that powered rail up there, and then you can come down with another step, powered rail there and there, and then normal rail 1, 2 and 3. Don't forget to put a lever on the side so that gets powered. We've now got the rail system that's going to deliver everything we want to our bank. We've then just got to feed these off to our farms. So on both sides we have created an identical but symmetrical little inlet to the ground. So we've got 1, 2 deep here, going along 1, 2, 3. So you can see we've got powered rail, normal rail, powered rail, and it goes down to with a lever at the end. On this side it's exactly the same. Powered rail, normal rail, powered rail at the end of those 3, going down with a lever on the end. On top of these, I want you to put a hopper, and on top of the hopper we're going to put a chest. This is going to be the input chest to be able to fill our stuff up. And then, just so as you don't fall down the hole, put yourself a trapdoor there, and also over this side a trapdoor there. You can then flip the trapdoor down and access that lever as much as you'd want. Marked out on the ground here, we've got the spaces that we're going to be taking up for the 2 farms that we're going to be doing. We're going to start on the right hand side, the yellow one, where this is going to be the cactus farm, and then we'll move across and do the bamboo farm. Now these are based on the previous 2 tutorials that I've done for both of these. They're slightly changed up, but if you want to go and get the basics from those tutorials, the links are in the description below, and I will go through them a lot slower in those videos than I'm doing this video. Otherwise this video would be an hour long, and that just won't do at all. Let's crack on. Right, so we've got cactus first. Remove that, and then we're going to put a chest that goes sideways like that. Get a hopper into the side of it, hopper into there, and a hopper into there, and then run a hopper chain all the way back along both sides of this yellow. So that is 2 rows of hoppers in a hopper chain, 13 long on either side. Now there is a lot cheaper option where you don't have to use, well, nearly this many hoppers, 2 hoppers in the entire farm. It's got a lot bigger footprint, and it's not lossless like this fella is. It is also how to make it in the video that I put in the description below, so do go and have a look. Stick a minecart with hopper on each of those, and then we're going to build up just a small tower between the minecart with hoppers. I'm going to start with this one, and I'm going to use this green wall as a temporary block, and it needs to come 1 row above the hoppers, so there, like that, exactly like that. And on either side you want to pop a block of sand, and then when you remove the rail, if you just highlight the box there, click get rid of that, it puts the sand into the minecart with hopper like that, which means anything on the sand automatically gets caught by the minecart with hopper, and because that's on a hopper, it goes through into the hopper system. Now do that on the entire row. Once you've done that, get yourself some glass and pop a row of glass right across the top of the temporary blocks that you have got in here, like that, right to the end, and then get rid of the temporary block that is right underneath it. Keep hold of that one because actually it serves a purpose. Bring this around, loop it all the way around to the other side of the sand, right to the end, you can see it, and then come past the end like that, and between the sand pop another bit of glass. So what you've effectively done is put a load of holes with sand directly on top of them. Then what you can do is you can do it exactly the same on the other side. So you'll end up with something that looks a lot like that. And now we're going to put another couple of levels on. First off, get rid of that, put a hopper going into that, and then a chest going into the top of that hopper, and then a hopper going into that, and a chest on top of that hopper. Then grab a hopper into there, 2 hoppers on either side, and then you just want to repeat exactly what you did here with the ring of hoppers, the rails, the hopper mine carts, the temporary blocks, the sand, etc., until you've got another layer exactly the same as that. And it should look very much like that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put a third level on. So hopper into there, chest on top of the hopper, get rid of that block, hopper into there, chest on top of that hopper. And yep, you've guessed it, we're going to repeat exactly the same process again with 2 rows of hoppers going backwards all the way along there. And that is the third layer. Now, if you've got loads of iron, you could put a 4th layer on this if you want to, absolutely no problem. But 3 layers should just about be enough. Then, between each of these, pop a bottom half slab, and then on the sides, cover over those holes. This is a lossless farm, but if you leave these holes open, it ceases to be lossless because you get the odd little bit of cactus kind of pops out and gets in the way. So you don't want to do that. This is now utterly lossless. Get yourself some cactus. This is, after all, a cactus farm. And on each of these levels, on each sand, put a cactus. This means that you've got 3 levels, each with 14 cactus on them, meaning that you've got 42 cactus working away. And every time these cactus grow, they will give you another cactus. And there you go. That cactus farm is now complete and will start to work. Now, these cactus can take anything up to 18 minutes to grow 1 level. When they do grow 1 level, they'll grow into this glass block space. They don't like having things next to them, so they'll pop off. But because they pop off onto that cactus, the cactus is directly on top of the hitbox of the minecart with hopper. That means it is sucked through into the minecart with hopper faster than the cactus can destroy it, and goes into the system and eventually ends up in this chest here when they start to grow. That is all you need to do with that. You don't need to light it up. Cactus love the dark. Now, it's all very well having a load of cactus, but it's no good if you haven't got anything to smelt it up with. So we're going to come to this area here, which is going to be our bamboo farm. This is going to be a simplified bamboo farm from the one that we built the other day in the tutorial, but you can absolutely build it up to that tutorial level should you wish to do so. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to get some hoppers, not even got my hoppers yet, and we're going to put hoppers into this chest. So it's going to be 1, 2, and then we're going to come across 1, 2, and this side as well, 1 and 2. And then what we need to do is we need to, on this red bit here, we need to place a row of these blocks. These can be any blocks, but I'm using the structural blocks that I'm eventually going to build the farm out of, and build up a row of 2 like this. And make sure you get it over the edge as well. And then on those 2 edge ones there, and these 2 edge ones here, place an extra block. Put a powered rail on those 2, a powered rail on that one, a powered rail on that one, and then link them up with the rest of the rails. So you should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13 between those 2 powered rails, making a total of 15 long track. Like that, that's perfect. And then come above these rails with another block like this, 1, 2, 3 and 4, and then between them get some dirt and run a load of dirt across the top of the rail. It should be a 1 block gap between the rail and the dirt, but in reality there isn't a gap because the rail is taking up the whole of that space anyway. You can't actually place a block on it anymore. That is where your bamboo is going to grow. So what I've done is I've built up around these dirt layers and put a load of these structural blocks on one side, a load along the other side, and then another row above that one on the inside only. So you can't see this got L shape like here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to place some light grey stained glass. It doesn't have to be light grey stained glass. I just like light grey stained glass. And we're going to fill in this all the way along there, and exactly the same all the way along here like this as well. I've missed one. I will go back and fill that in just a moment. There, don't put that like that, and put that like that. There we go. So this is going to be the tray that holds the first lot of bamboo. But what we're going to do first is get the piston, and we're going to put a piston across each and every one of these like this, and the same on the other side. And then on top of that piston, we're going to put an observer facing in the opposite direction. So come around the back and put an observer across the top of this. Now what's going to happen now, when we see the bamboo, or the observer sees the bamboo grow up in front of its face, it gets all excited or scared, and it lets out a little redstone fart out of it. Let's let redstone bum. And that little redstone fart is going to light up a piece of redstone that we're going to put here that will run the entirety of the length of this row. So let's just do that now. And there you go. So one redstone fart will actually light up all of the entire row, and it will fire every single piston. What that means is that it actually collects more bamboo per minute as a result, because it's punching out the bamboo that is not yet gone over the observer. The next thing you want to do is grab exactly the same on the other side. So it looks like that. Bring up the walls so there's glass all along the front face, stone up there, and glass all the way along this face, and then get yourself planting your bamboo. You can plant the bamboo from on top of either the wall or the observer row. It is entirely up to you. You don't have to go down into the gap and thus making it difficult to get back out again. Do that on both sides, and then what we're going to do is we're going to place another row across the top. And this is what it's going to look like. You have got a row of structural blocks on the row above the observer face right the way along, with a 2 high wall, 1 wide on each side. Before we do the next bit, I've decided to make a slight design change. Knock out that, put another hopper poking into that, and then replace that rail. I've realised that because I've made the footprint smaller, it's going to be less effective at collecting up, or more likely the dispensing the bamboo into the collection system. So I'm going to put another 2 hoppers right there. That'll work much better now. Put a lever there, put a lever at the other end there, place a minecart with hopper and let it roll. Do exactly the same on this side. Lever there and a lever at this end as well. And that will continue to collect up all of the bamboo and put it into your collection system. It isn't going off to your farm yet. Don't worry, you're not wasting anything. Coming up to the top level here, as a result of what we've just done, we need to very slightly change what it was I was going to do. So get yourself some temporary block there, where this glass block is here at the moment, and then come along with a hopper. Pop a hopper there, a hopper going into it sideways, hopper going into that sideways. Get rid of those 2, hopper going into that, and a hopper going into that. Get rid of those 2, hopper going into that, and a hopper going into that. You can then place down a powered rail there, and a row of normal rails right the way along. Make sure you don't leave any gaps until the last one. Pop in a powered rail, just fill in those gaps. Do that on the other side also. Put a lever there, a lever there, and that is your next row. You could even, if you wish, get your minecart with hopper already rolling along that, and then get yourself a row of dirt on the top, and you're just going to repeat exactly what you did on the previous level. What we, however, need to do now is get ourselves the way of filling up this chest from this high. And what I want to do is I want to get a couple of temporary blocks there and there, and get a dropper facing downwards like that. You can get rid of both those temporary blocks now. This now can come out, and you can place a hopper facing into the dropper like that. So it goes, anything that comes over these hoppers will then roll into that hopper and into the dropper. Then get yourself some glass and create a tube structure around that dropper there. So that is going to go all the way down to the bottom. just like that, and then get a hopper facing into the top of that chest like that, and then next to that hopper and underneath it, complete your row. And then what I want you to do is get yourself some glass platform coming out from here. Get yourself any conductive block, doesn't matter what it is, put a conductive block there and a conductive block there. Does this start to look familiar to you yet? It really should, because we did it a very short while ago. Get a comparator coming out there, get a repeater going in there, and then get a dot of redstone and put a dot of redstone 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Then whenever there is anything inside this dropper, that dropper will spit the stuff into that hopper, into that chest, and then it links up the entire system. Now just complete this level in exactly the same way as you completed that one. And there you have a completed 2-tier system. You need to get yourself up to 4 tiers to make this the most effective it can possibly be. More than 4 tiers and you're going over the top, frankly. But 4 tiers is great. Now, for the next level, you need to put yourself a hopper going into the top of the dropper, because you're going to be collecting stuff from this side. You then want to be getting yourself a temporary block, because that right there is the block that will be the dropper. So put a block above that, and then come along and pop a dropper facing downwards. There, you can get rid of those temporary blocks completely now. And now you want to build up the next level in exactly the same way as you did the previous one, including the tower here, including the glass platform underneath this dropper, and everything else as well. And that is what a 4-tier farm looks like. Now, these 2 farms are going to be absolutely sufficient to be able to power this farm here, this XP farm, which is the one that we're really interested in. I quickly realised I'd made a bit of an error. There was bamboo glitching out underneath here, and I couldn't work out why it was doing it, and I realised I put some glass underneath. Don't do that. It doesn't work. To be its most efficient, you want this to be a double chest. It was only a single chest previously. I missed that step, so I'm sorry. Put a double hopper facing downwards, so both hoppers are facing straight down. So when this hopper minecart travels under it, it travels under the 2 hoppers going in, and then again the 2 hoppers going out, and it gets effectively a double shot of hopperage, meaning that it fills up really fast with a lot of bamboo, because you need this to never ever run out. You want it full. It needs to have plenty of bamboo when it goes over those hoppers at the top. So when you're ready, and by ready I mean that full of bamboo, and both of these hoppers full of bamboo, and a decent stash of bamboo. This is probably more than you need, but at least a good row of bamboo in there. You are ready to get this fella rolling. So get it on by turning on there, close your trapdoor, and that will fill up these fellas. Not fast, but fast enough. You can see we've got probably with every pass 3 or 4 bits of bamboo going into it. Now allow them to fill up a little bit before you get your cactus on here, because if you start these on too quickly, the fuel can run out before the cactus is there and ready, and you don't want that. So you can see we've got 11. I recommend that you allow these to fill up completely, and also allow the hoppers at the back to get a decent amount in them before you set the bamboo off. At the moment there's obviously nothing. Once you've given that just maybe 5 minutes or so, you've got full bamboo in the furnaces, and if you come around the back, you've got what, stack and a half, 2.5 stacks, maybe 3 stacks of bamboo in the back ready, and that's filling up quite nice, and you should find it puts more in than it uses up. Come over to your cacti and you can get this fella rolling. We've already got a full minecart with hopper, a full hopper, and a kind of a line and a half very nearly of cacti there too, which is good. So get that fella rolling by just pushing that button, coming around, and these are all starting to roll. And you can see we've put 2 cacti, 3 cacti, 4 cacti. All the cacti are starting to add up in there, and they will continue to push through. You'll put more cacti into these furnaces than the furnaces burn, so you'll find that this one can roll forever. Like a plank, by the way, I had to move these levers. I had them in the wrong place, and as a result I was locking the end hoppers. So move these well out the way of those hoppers so you don't lock them. What a wally. Now you can see this guy is flowing now. We've got plenty of stuff going into all of these. You can see plenty of bamboo, plenty of cactus in all of them, and that should continue to roll pretty much infinitely. And you can see from here, because we've got this turned on, all of the green dye is being churned through and is being collected in this chest. Once you're ready to get rid of it, flow that switch. You can hear that is already going through. That is going to get rid of the whole lot. Turn it off if you want to keep your green dye coming. Now just wait and see how long it takes to get a load of XP. So this farm has been running for about 2 hours now to give it a little bit of an oomph. And you'll see that these fellas are still rolling very, very nicely. Thank you very much. There is 64 bamboo in the top. There is pretty much 64 bamboo in most of the top of those as well. Now, the thing is, if you want to get XP from a furnace, you need to be able to take an item from it here. And you can't, because all of the cactus is flowing through it. It never actually appears. So you need to lock things. So to be able to lock it, you need to create just a really simple little system here. I've got redstone torches pointing directly into the hoppers underneath of those furnaces there, and a lever under each one. So if you want to just take XP from one of these furnaces, that's not a problem. You can just, so that one, for example, I can see now that that furnace there, when that finishes that cycle, that is going to retain the green dye there, and I will be able to remove it. So you can basically let the whole array keep rolling and only take XP from just one of them. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to lock down 1, 2 and 3. In fact, let's do all of them just for now. And what we're going to do is we're going to come across here and we're going to stop this fella rolling so as it doesn't get in the way of us. So when we cross backwards and forwards trying to do things. So if I come around the back here, we're now going to see how much XP we get from this farm after 2 hours. You can see I've gone into survival. I've got no experience whatsoever. I'm exactly at 0. All of these guys are now starting to accumulate their dye. So let's see what one furnace gives us. So I've instantly got 20 levels of XP from a single furnace. So that's after 2 hours. So you can imagine after probably about 3.5 hours, you will have a full 30 levels worth of experience instantly. Absolutely instantly. If you then go into the next one, if you were to do, say, 2 lots of furnaces in one go, boom, that's 26 levels of XP. And a third one, 32 levels of XP. You're already at max enchantment just by doing 3 furnaces. Let's just see what all 5 will give us when we get to the end of it. So you are nearly 40 levels of experience after just 2 hours from your entire XP bank. And actually, that means you just turn it back on again. Just let these fellas keep flowing. Like that. Let this fella go as well. And that will continue to roll whilst you go off and do other things, and that will be waiting and ready to give you more experience the next time you come to it. Now you could decorate this farm any way you wanted. You can make it into a big industrial building. You could make it into something a little bit more rustic. Or if you want, you can just leave it exactly the way it is at the moment. I think that's perfectly fine too. And that will generate you XP really simply without the need for any mobs. So no Enderman or no creepers or anything like that. Now, okay, some people like Enderman farms, some people like creeper farms, some people like other mob farms to get their experience. I totally respect that, but this is just something else. And when you use an Enderman farm or a creeper farm or another XP farm, you have to use that experience straight away. You can't store it up. It doesn't sit there in a little package waiting for you. What you've got here is a bank. It is an XP bank, and you can keep this experience for as long as you want it. If you have enjoyed this video, please do remember to slap that like button. It'd be great to know you're enjoying them, and I will keep on making them. Also, if you've not done it already, please do hit that subscribe button. It'd be great to see you in my sub club, and I look forward to seeing you in another video. You take it easy now. Bye.